In what ways does your media product use, develop or challenge forms and conventions of real media products? So conventions of an opening sequence is what's seen in the opening of the film, and it includes setting the scene, introducing the characters, the colours used, the props used, and...
Yeah, so we use Roland Barthes' code theory of enigma codes, and these are elements of mystery in our plot, and they're like unanswered questions that the audience only know the answer to if they carry on watching the film. So enigma codes draw in the audience and keep them engaged. So we have done that by not showing the antagonist's face, so holding his identity away from the audience. And we also didn't explain why the antagonist has his wife trapped in the cellar, so this makes him want to carry on watching the film.
As well as this, we left the opening on a cliffhanger, and again this will make the viewer want to carry on watching as they want to know what's going to happen next.
We also use semantic codes. We use this through mise-en-scene and dress the male character all in black. This would suggest to the audience that maybe something's wrong or something's not quite fine. And we also use flashbacks to show that something's already happened previously, causing all the tension in the opening sequence.
Two ways we established the genre was by our music choice and also the titles. In general, they were both pretty mysterious and eerie, and the music built up as the opening sequence went on to build tension and get the audience gripped.
Non-diegetic music in the film, so the audience, it's like we edited it on after, so it's not actually in the film, so we got to choose what music we had, so we had like eerie music to go with the scene. We had a flashback which kind of set the scene, as it let the audience know that the relationship between the husband and wife wasn't good before and they'd been arguing for a while. And it also shows that some things happened in the past, but we don't know what's happened yet, and that has led up to how he trapped her in the cellar.
For our title sequence, we kept the creepy music in the background and also the heartbeat sound, which was like building up the tension. And for our production logo, we chose the word twisted, as that kind of relates to his state of mind throughout the film.
We built up tension and engaged the audience through building up the characters. In the male, we represented the male as aggressive straight away, and we made it clear that he was the antagonist throughout the film. And we did this by using low angles on them to show dominance, and also we dressed them up in black again, so he seemed mysterious.
The female was dressed in a red top and a white skirt, so it kind of represented her in two different ways, by the red sort of connoting danger and love, whereas the white connotes more innocence and purity.
So the sister her identity isn't revealed straight away, so the audience don't know much about her, and we done this so because later on in the film she is the hero, the protagonist. She was the one who gets her sister out of the cellar, and we didn't want to give that away to the audience.
In our opening sequence, we establish our genre, which is psychological thriller, by firstly, the colours we use are mainly blacks and reds, which are associated with the genre.
Yeah, so this visual iconography is, so we also use the font. So the font is kind of not eerie and what would you call it?
Not straight, it's all rugged and...
Yeah, all rugged, and it gives that feel feel a bit weird, a bit like hairs on end.
The soundtrack we use two pieces of music. The first one's kind of mysterious, and that's the build-up, and then as the husband walks into the cellar, the music kind of reaches its climax and gets even more eerie, which raises the tension. And we also use a heartbeat throughout the cellar to show the fear of the wife.
We used a flashback, so it shows the thoughts in the husband's head, how his mind's getting all mental, and how throughout the film he will get more and more like mental, and like his head isn't right. And
in our production logo it says twisted, which we felt was like representative of his state of mind throughout.
so we use shadows as to mystery, and it just makes the audience feel a bit like of suspense and tension. And like the low-key lighting, we done this with the low-key lighting, and it like kind of set the tone and made it more eerie.
The settings are a conventional iconography feature, as we set it in a cellar, and the cellar's got like, it's like a creepy setting.
Band as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. The costumes we've used, so for the husband, he was wearing dark, smart clothes, and with the genre psychological thriller, usually the antagonist wears like smart clothes to like hide his identity, so to look like he's like all normal and in his state of mind that he's normal. So it hides his identity.
And for the props, we wanted something that obviously the husband could tie the wife up with, but we chose a cloth instead of like a rope, because we thought it would be more fitting to his like their home life, and like he wouldn't, like it would be a bit non-realistic if he had a rope to tie her up.
Our opening sequence in some ways is unconventional. We made it unconventional by challenging Todorov's theory of narrative structure, which states that the beginning of the text begins with an equilibrium and then a disruption. However, we went straight in with the disruption and challenged his theory.
So we done this, so we grab the audience attention straight away. By starting with the disruption, it gets the audience engaged and like creates suspense throughout, so they want to carry on watching. So this is also the use of like enigma codes.